video, there is certain times where I am just making, a day of something, and the inspiration hits to record, set up the camera, and make a video. And today, for a while now, knew I was going to see Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi first of this trilogy, in kind of like this thing that Sony is doing to celebrate Spider-Man, and they're releasing all of, the Holland films, the Garfield ones, and the Maguire ones. And this was the thing that started it all. And again, I will be fully transparent. Spider-Man 1, in more ways than even as I am about to state, saved my life. This movie changed everything. That DVD you see right there was gifted to me by my dad when I was like 4 or 5, and that became my religion. I practiced it. I watched it over and over. It was the thing I fell asleep to on my box TV, and it helped me through a time in my life that I needed it at one point, and it just kept being there over and over. I will say that about the whole trilogy, but you can't have 2 or 3 without the first, and in many ways, this changed filmmaking and cinema. But back to my point, I did not expect to make a video about a movie which is 22 years old, about an iconic comic book character which everybody, I would argue, in some way, fashion, or another, is aware of. But here I am, as today may have just been one of the most profound days I've ever had. I'm gonna try and make this as, uncut as possible, as raw, because I have to talk about this. I went into this at like a 10 o'clock showing for this movie, very late at night, and it was a full theater, wall to wall. It was almost entirely sold out. It was a smaller auditorium, but an auditorium nonetheless that I've been to many times, at a theater I frequent often, that has never really been full. And I was worried. There was all this commotion, people laughing and giggling before the movie. But I knew the moment that the credits start to play, those opening credits showing the DNA turn into the web, and Danny Elfman's score start to swell, this theater went quiet. Quiet in a way that felt energized. It was people locked in, and what followed was 2 of the greatest hours of my life that I could have ever witnessed, and it reaffirmed a lot for me that I didn't know I needed. Like I was saying, I watched this as a kid. I watched this religiously, and I got to experience something that my childhood self would never have dreamed of. You don't really expect movies to be brought back into theaters as a young kid. I wished I was born a year too late. This came out in 2002. I was born in 2003. Even then, though, if I saw it as a newborn, I don't know why I would, but I'd always dreamed of getting to experience and witness all of Sam Raimi's glory in a big crowd, and I just felt very grateful. I think in a lot of ways, this movie symbolizes a lot of the greatest things about filmmaking, big budget filmmaking especially. This was a trailblazer for a subgenre, which I think has been beaten very thin, has gotten very tired. I'm not going to say it's lost the sauce. I just think it has been so commoditized and just made into a product versus an art form. The superhero landscape has changed drastically. I mean, in the past 5 years alone, with a pandemic, with, streaming services, I've lost a lot of the appreciation that a movie like Spider-Man had created. We do not get the sentimental, the endearing film on a scale like this if it doesn't hit the checkboxes of action, of fulfilling a monstrous budget. It just doesn't work. for people, for studio heads, and that is not without exceptions. You know, we have movies like The Batman, The Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I think we will never get a movie as enriched with emotion like what Sam Raimi, David Koepp, Don Burgess, and then what Bill Pope would shoot later, what Elfman would continue to compose for a trilogy, like we will with those 3 films. I sit here and I'm gonna be 21 in a month, and I'm gonna be frank, I'll be transparent. I'm very lost. A lot of things have happened to me in the past couple of years. I won't really get into it. It's just been very hard, and this is not a pity me video. No, we're here talking about Spider-Man 1. It's been very tumultuous. It's been very trying. I started this account. In a few months, it'll be like a 3-year anniversary, and I've been uploading on and off different routines because life has thrown so much my way. And I will say, ever since I started this page, watching movies has been an entire different experience, not just from a critical side where I have to formulate my opinions more in a way that can be turned into a video that I can vocalize my thoughts to you, but also it reminds me that I have an audience that I can talk to anything about, and I can make any video and at least one person will continually show up, and that is you. That is the person that saw my videos, don't know when, don't know how, recommendation, you sought me out, the algorithm put me onto your page, but I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't, I'm not gonna say like I would be dead, but I fundamentally wouldn't continue to wake up every day with the sense of purpose and the intuition and foresight that I have gained because of YouTube, because of the community that we have built. This is not a me thing here. You have been equal parts as purposeful and meaningful in this whole thing. And I sat watching a movie that was made by a committee of people that have been working at the top of their game. And the best things about each of these people, composer, editor, writer, cinematographer, director, all of these people are working at the top of their game. And I thought about my family, I thought about you guys, I thought about like what I'm doing with my life, and I'm not trying to say that I had this like epiphany where it was this like, you know, larger than life moment, but it's a moment that in it itself, I realized I am here and I'm alive, and it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I would probably say it's in the triple digits of how much I've seen this movie, and there is all of these scenes and the way that the heart of this movie beats bigger and bigger with every passing moment. And like, you have moments like something as simple as Peter and MJ out in the backyard expressing what is happening to themselves, the timid, shy Tobey Maguire, the bold, ferocious Kirsten Dunst, the way that it's crafted and shot and structured. You don't get that anymore. You hear people saying, oh, you know, I miss the old days, or we're so back, and I've said that a lot, but as I was watching this movie, I came to the epiphany and a realization of sorts that we may not ever get this again. I've accepted that a long time ago, but I think we get so stuck in we won't get it anymore, but to get what? To get something that has existed, and this existed for me, for you, for everyone, and now we have an opportunity to embrace some of the best pieces of filmmaking, and I am including Spider-Man 3. I will die to say that that is still in my top 5 favorite Spider-Man movies of all time. The juice is loose in that, and the best thing about this too was people were applauding, people were sniffling. It was a level of reverence and present feelings like nobody could ever exemplify. This movie is 22 years old, but this audience currently in 2024 felt like it was being experienced anew. And as I was walking out, I just heard all of these people talking about its praise, but more importantly, how they were excited to get together to watch is the best of the trilogy, Spider-Man 2, next week. And you don't get that. You just don't get it. Where people come out of a theater titillated, excited on cloud 9, basking and sharing in a communal love for a movie as much anymore. And be it a pandemic, be it streaming services, be it the way that the industry has shifted to being a lot more careful with what they make, but as a result, the movies don't feel like they're made with as much care as they were 20 years ago. I'm watching this, and I'm getting 2 more of these movies in the next 2 weeks, and I cannot stress enough. I bet you've seen this movie. If you haven't, what rock have you been living under? But I can guarantee it is like $5 at go to Regal, at AMC, at anywhere. You will have a moment of a lifetime. If you're a Spider-Man fan, if you're a Maguire fan, even if you prefer the Garfield or Holland films and you don't like Spider-Man that much, this is a moving, a sweeping piece of art that you never will have experienced it literally in 20 years. This is a golden opportunity. You see some of the best performances in a big budget film. Kirsten Dunst, Maguire, Franco Defoe eating up the scenery. Rosemary Harris may give the best motherly role that I have ever watched. It's impossible for me not to feel the gaps in my upbringing in certain ways when I watch a performance as endearing, as motherly, as embraceful as Rosemary Harris does with Aunt May. And I think that at the end of the day is what art is about. You are able to be escaped, to be swept into a world that you can bring and project onto your own. You can fill in those loose holes of your road that are speed bumps or potholes that were made and dug by people who did you wrong. How some things have failed you. Art is there to patch that, and this movie mended so much for me. You know, therapy is a beautiful thing, but movies are therapy. They're the things that are able to just help be there for you, be that warm hug. And as I was watching this, I needed this a lot more than I thought. And just, I'm very appreciative. I know this is very loose. This is very kind of, not well thought out. And I'm sorry if, this isn't what you're expecting. This wasn't what I was expecting. But I'm just, thank you. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say, but thank you. This is a time where, if you really want to feel the headspace that I'm in when I watch a movie or experience something, it's difficult to project that, especially because I've never met you. I've never been able to thank or congratulate you for the things that you've done, for the accomplishments that you've achieved, or just thank you for letting me be as happy as I am because of you. But if I cannot implore you more that these next 2 weeks you check your local theaters, you look out for Spider-Mans 2 and 3 and watch it in communal love and appreciation like I do, and let's soak in this moment together. Spider-Man will forever be one of the best looking, feeling, and just executed projects on this scale ever made. It is a movie that is firing on all cylinders over and over again, continually escalating not just stakes, not just the heart of it all, but as a technical movie, it is just so competently made beyond my wildest imaginations. It is a story about coming into your own. It is a tale about loss, but building anew, the family that you have, the love that you share, the expression that you can give to yourself and to others. It is about the masks we have, but importantly, the embracement of who you are. And that, to me, is the best themes and ideas that you can ever give to a movie. I know I touted this as a review. You would know my score by now. It's a top 50 movie for me of all time. It will forever be that. Let me know, though, tell me about an experience if you've gotten this far into the video of a movie like Spider-Man was for me growing up. What is your movie, the thing that you have consumed, which you can passionately say is the reason why you are here, above a lot of other things, of course. It takes so much to build who we are, but I think it is a beautiful journey internally to just sift through the things that have formed us to be who we are. And as I recorded this video that is coming to a close, I think that this trilogy is why I'm here. I may not have the answer. There is going to be the highs and lows for you and me, but the art that can give us the hug that so many people couldn't is the reason why we have our hearts beating as hard as we can. And I need to know, please, thank you so much for sticking around in this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Letterboxd, post my reviews before I actually record them. So, please, and of course, thank you so much for watching this impromptu, a bit scattered video, appreciating the most fundamental piece of art for me in my life. I hope you enjoyed and felt seen. I love you so very much, but remember to take life one frame at a time. And remember, with great power comes great responsibility.